That's what I was worried about. Today, I'm going to find out if I'm actually healthy or if I've just been lying to myself for the last year. Hi, my name's Jeremy. I'm here for Dexa Scan, but I don't know where to go. Whoa, what the hell is a Dexa Scan and why am I getting one? So first off, Dexa stands for Dual Energy X-ray Absometry. What it does is it separates your body into 3 distinct categories. Your bone mineral content, so your bones and stuff. Your lean mass, this includes things like muscle, lean organs, ligaments, connective tissue, and all those other good things. And lastly, it looks at the fat. Now it looks at the fat that's stored within the organs of your body as well as the fat that's just underneath the skin surface. So that's great, but why am I getting one? Well, I lost a lot of weight. Like half my body weight a lot. And at one point I probably lost too much weight. People thought I was dying, like cancer skinny dying. Now before you get upset with me, my mom died of cancer, so I can say those kind of things, I think. I'm sorry. At any rate, I had developed an unhealthy relationship between my body and food, and the last 2 years has been about fixing that. So for the last 6 to 12 months, my body has actually naturally fluctuated around the same 5 pounds. I'm happy with the amount of exercise I'm doing, and I love the way that I eat. But the question continues to linger in my brain. Am I actually healthy? There's a lot of different ways that people measure health. A lot of people rely on scales. The problem with scales is they don't really tell the whole story. Another common thing that people use is BMI, which is measuring their body mass index. The problem with that is it doesn't take things like your gender or your age into consideration. And a lot of people might be considered overweight or even obese using one of those 2 metrics. And for my own journey, when I lost all my weight, I had a lot of excess skin. Some of which that I had surgically removed, but it wasn't possible or affordable to remove all of it. And that adds some weight to my body as well that isn't fat. This is why measuring your actual body fat is the best measure of real health. And I know what you're saying, there's lots of things out there that say DEXA scans aren't perfect either, and of course they're not, nothing is. But the great thing about a DEXA scan is it's accurate to itself. So a DEXA scan is one of the most accurate ways to not only measure your body fat, but to tell you where that fat is, and to give you a general sense of if your body is actually healthy. I roped my buddy Tommy into coming with me to Push Pound Sports Medicine to tape the process. Tommy herself has had a DEXA scan, so I thought she'd be the best sidekick for this particular adventure.
Alright, is this the first time you've had a DEXA scan?
This is my first time. So I'm terrified to do this. I've gotten to a point where I'm really comfortable with my life balance, and I'd rather not change things up. So I'm worried that I'm going to do this and learn that I'm not as healthy as I think I am. So if you've gotten this far in the video, clearly you're interested. So do me a favor and hit that like button and also subscribe. I do this kind of cool stuff all the time. I'm a fun guy. Also, let me know what your situation is like in the comments below. Have you ever had a DEXA scan? Is it something you're interested in? Are you on a weight loss journey? Whatever. I want to know about you.
So I'm Dr. Darren Gervin. I'm a sports chiropractor here at Push Pound Sports Medicine. So I run the performance nutrition program here at the clinic as well. So we do things for weight loss, body composition, and then sport performance. Now, because it's a form of X-ray technically, there's a very low dose of radiation associated with that, okay?
So a DEXA scan does have radiation, but it's a marginal amount. He described it to me as about having the same amount of radiation as carrying your phone in your pocket for a day or flying from Toronto to New York. Also, I didn't know you got radiation from flying on planes. That was new to me. I used to weigh myself every single day, but I finally got out of that mentality, and now I just do it once a week. I do it on Wednesdays, after I wake up, after I go to the bathroom, and I do it naked, because clothes weigh stuff.
And pop right off there. Right off 203.
Do you have a weigh-in process that you like? Let me know in the comments below. The technician adjusts your body to make sure you're lying perfectly in the middle so they can get a sense of your different weights on different sides of your body. For balance and stuff. You have to lay still for about 5 minutes or so, but you can blink, talk, just don't move.
I think you're going to be really happy with your results. I don't know. I mean, Jarrett, what is it that you want from this exactly?
I just want to see if I'm actually as healthy as I think I am.
What do you think your body fat composition is?
I want to say I'm closer to 20, but I'd be happy as long as I'm under 22. I'll be kind of sad if I'm actually over 25.
Your actual skeleton is appearing on this monitor.
So what is a healthy body fat? Well, that's a complicated question because what they do is they use things like age and gender to decide that. And yes, I understand that when it comes to gender, they just use men and women as the 2 groupings. I realize it's outdated. I'm just the messenger. I didn't design it. So for people aged 20 to 39, they say women should aim for around 21 to 33% body fat. Men should be between 8 and 19%. For people who are 40 to 59, which includes my age range, I'm on the lower side of that, to be clear. Women should be between 23 and 33%. Men should be between 11 and 21%. For those over 60, they recommend women at 25 to 35% and men at 13 to 24%. So, how did I do? Let's find out.
So we've got your body in a few different forms here.
Okay.
On the left side, we've got all the bone. On the right side, we have all the soft tissue. So we've got blue being the bone structure here. Red or the orange, that's the lean muscle mass. And then the purple or pink is where the fat mass is.
Right.
Okay.
So first he gave me the results of my bone density.
This compares your bone density to that of this, an individual the same age and gender as you.
They use two different numbers to compare this. The first one is called a T-score. This is the number of a young adult in peak physical health, and that number is 2.0. The second number they give you is someone that's in your age and gender bracket, and mine was 2.0, which is technically as good as you can get.
But that's a good number.
That's a good number, yeah, no red flags.
That means that I'm really low risk for things like osteoporosis as I get older. And then we got into the important numbers, body fat.
So look at your body fat percentage, about 26.4%.
26.4, doll. That's your total body fat?
That's what I was worried about.
Here, this does not include the weight of your bone in the total. Okay?
Oh.
I'll show you that in a second. When I put that in there, it's going to drop it by about 1% or so. So now we can look at what's called android versus gynoid. Okay, so these are just fancy terms that describe where the weight is being held, like regionally. Android's a fancy term for meaning around like the waist or abdomen area. And then we look at gynoid, which is lower down towards like the hip region. So what we do typically as an outcome measure is we follow the ratio of these two numbers together, which you can see is 1.02 here, which is really darn good. For males, we want you to be around 1.0 or lower. So you're basically right at the benchmark.
So if what he said was confusing, let me try to sum that up for you. So my body fat is around 25.5%, which is technically 4.5% above where I want it to be. But the real measurement of body fat is not how much you have, but where it's stored. And the most dangerous place is your abdomen. This is your abdomen, right here. So they compare the ratios between that and your hips. For men, they want it to be 1.0, and for women, they want it to be 0.8. Mine was 1.02, which is just marginally over the threshold they want. I gotta say, that made me really happy. So although my body fat in general is over where it's recommended, where it's stored isn't. And then he had more good news.
So here's another cool thing that Dexa gives us is your RSMI, the Relative Skeletal Muscle Index. This is now telling you how dense the muscle tissue is. To give you a reference point on how high the scale goes, the higher end of that scale, and some of the professional athletes will get here will be around like 13.5. So 10 right on is really darn good. That's on the higher end, okay?
Okay.
For males, we just don't want you to go below 7.26.
So to answer my initial question, am I healthy? The answer is, it's complicated.
I assume this recommends that I try to lose a little bit of that body fat.
Yeah, I think there's still likely more to lose, but you also have to put this into perspective of where you're coming from.
I walked away from this with mixed feelings. I love knowing that my bones were in shape and that the quality of my muscle was really, really strong, and that where my fat is stored is not in a dangerous place. Those are all huge wins, and I think they speak to the fact that I've been doing good stuff with my body. That said, I'm not just gonna keep doing the things I've been doing. Now, I don't think food is the problem. I can keep eating the way I eat. Thank you! That's really what I care about, what goes in my belly. But I'm totally gonna add some resistance training to my workouts. I wanna build up that muscle.
So one thing I would say from a training perspective, prioritize resistance training.
Because I think everyone prioritizes cardio because it burns more calories in the short term, but not in the long term. Yeah, I just got to kind of figure out what I'm going to do next.
So if you want to see a follow-up video, I need you to do two things. I need you to like this video and leave a comment below. Also subscribe, that's 3 things, I get it. I can do math. Let me know if you also want me to do a video focusing on my resistance training. If you want to watch a video on how I tried to lose weight eating only potatoes, click here, and YouTube thinks you'll like this video. Thanks.